धर्मप्रवर्तकं प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। We saw in the previous class the main goal for the human being is what? Moksha. Why? Because mama vartma anuvartante. Manushyaha sarve. All of them are helplessly attracted to me like even the planets to the sun. Why? Because all the planets, where did they come from? Hello, show me one sign of life. Yeah. Where did they come from? The sun, not Ishvara. Okay. Yeah, we are talking of a local example. All right, yeah. Where did all the planets come from? The sun. And so they are attracted to the sun, and because of the gravitational force, they are not committing suicide and going inside the sun. That's why they are in their orbits. So they settle down for circling around the sun. That's the best they can do. And so every single thing in the universe is helplessly attracted to the source. And what is the source? Now you say Ishvara. Ishvara. And so this is what is meant by Mama Vartma Anuvartante. Mama Vartma Anuvartante. Sarve Manushyaha. Sarvashaha. Sarvaihi Prakaraihi. We saw that. In all ways they are attracted to me. But at the same time I have given them what? Free will. Alas. Which is both a blessing and a challenge. Why is it a blessing? It's a blessing because it is very much in keeping with the desire for moksha, the freedom to desire and the freedom to have this free will to desire includes the desire for moksha, which can be awakened in the heart, which can be recognized and which can be pursued. This is the blessing. And what is the challenge? Along with moksha, 100 other things can also be pursued. This is the problem. So many other things can be pursued. Everything looks attractive. Everything looks wonderful. And then sometimes the Mahavakya, we have to be careful. Which Mahavakya? Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Yeah, everything is Brahman, so what? And then saying that, one can go far away from this knowledge, thinking everything is Brahman, everything is Brahman, everything is Brahman. And then even adharma one can think is what? Brahman. So like this, therefore, the will has to be trained like a puppy dog. Yes. The will has to be trained to go with Ishvara's flow, not against Ishvara's flow. And therefore, how is the will trained? The will is trained only by doing the things that help me to be in Ishvara's flow. Because the will cannot be trained if you are not exercising the will in the form of action. A silent will, how are you going to train it? It's not going to work. So, the will is trained in the course of action, And then through exercising the muscle of discernment, what is good for me to do, what is not good for me to do, where should I go next, what should I not do, and then even if I don't understand why I should not be doing something, I still follow that because I know that there is some wisdom there. Because all the Purvajas means people who came before me, have done this and succeeded. And so, training the will to follow actions that are in keeping with the Vartman, the path of Ishvara, which is the only path there is. And path means flow. There is a certain flow in the universe, and it is palpable, and that flow is Bhagavan. If we sit still enough, we see that there is a flow. And in every second, I have the choice to go with the flow and have a heart free of conflict, or go against the flow and look around. Oh, who is going to find out? Am I in trouble? What's going to happen? Oh, how to cover it up? All these problems come. Conflict comes. The inability to stand myself, I cannot handle myself, I do not like myself, all these problems come. So our first manifestation of Ishvara that we hold on to is Dharma. So this also we saw. And the second very ingenious way of going with the flow is through acknowledging that there are certain challenges. What are the challenges? 3 gunas are the challenges. Tamas is there, Rajas is there, Sattva is also there. Managing all these things are what? Challenging. And so, through this, and then at the same time, there is the presence, the light of Bhagavan in oneself expressed through action. Certain actions come very, very easily. Certain actions, even if you do a headstand, it does not come. What to do? So what do? I go with the least disturbance to myself and the universe by following what comes to me naturally. This is the way of training the will also. Now suppose somebody says, I know how to rob houses naturally. Yeah, it has come to me. And I'm very creative. And also I'm a very good acrobat, meaning I climb things very easily. I can climb a creeper up to the 4th floor of an apartment. I can climb what are those pipes? Water pipes, drainage pipes. I can climb. I was a monkey in my last life. No problem, I can climb. This comes naturally. To sit and study Vedanta, no, only sleep comes. Vedanta doesn't come. So what? So this comes naturally. Therefore, I am going to choose a life of robbing, pickpocketing. And don't worry, you say I am going against Dharma. I'll make it up. I'll give a portion of my, spoils to a temple. I'll build an orphanage. What's wrong with this scenario? Dharma, as Ishvara, has been bludgeoned with the cudgel. Okay? Yeah. Dharma talks naturally. Somewhere even the robber knows that it is wrong to rob. That's why in the US there is a section in the paper, there used to be, I don't know, in the news section there used to be a section on dumb criminals. Criminals that are dumb. What did they do? One item I'll share. So this man went into somebody's house in a rich neighborhood and made off with this huge flat screen, 68 inches, 70 inches color TV. Of course he couldn't hold it all by himself. And then so he called an accomplice in a getaway car, and so both of them went. And then what did they do? They had to, so he somehow got both of them did not go, the other fellow was in the car. So he somehow went into the house and dragged the TV out and then he wanted to see if the other person has come or not, and he hid it in the bushes and put one blanket also stolen from the house on the TV so that nobody will see. Then he went out on the road scoping, where is the car, where is the so-called friend, where did he go? Then thankfully he saw the friend coming. Little late he was tied up elsewhere, and perhaps literally, we don't know. And then slowly he made his way around the bend and parked there. Then he said, come, hurry up, park quickly. We'll have to go put this in the car or the truck, whatever they had. Then they put it in the car, and then they were going to put it in the car. All that was left was an empty blanket. Underneath the blanket, only bushes, no TV. They were so outraged that they called the police. So, how could somebody do this to me? That they were doing it to somebody else, completely gone. How could somebody do this to me? What's wrong? Something is terribly wrong. They called the police, and the first question the police asked is this house yours? No. Yeah, are you living in this neighborhood? No. Then what are you doing with the TV in the middle of this road that you report to be stolen? And no wonder they ended up in the jail, in the prison. This is what is called dumb criminals. It is not dumb criminals, it is just the outrage of adharma. Even the person flouting dharma does not want there to be adharma towards them. So therefore, I choose an occupation, or I choose what I need to do in keeping with the voice in the heart, which tells me what is correct, what is not correct, what I should be doing, what I should not be doing, etc., etc. And so this is how one grows. And then there is this inconvenient topic of gunas, 3 gunas. I know this is the right thing to do, but I don't feel like it. This is called the Duryodhana syndrome. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. I don't feel like it. Or maybe you don't know the consequences of doing wrong things. Janami adharmam cha nachame nivrittihi. I know what is wrong, but I don't feel like abstaining from what is wrong. So this is what is the cloud of ajnanam and the limitations of the gunas. And there is a beautiful workaround here to that, with the 4-fold classifications. And forget the system in the society, but the classification individually taken, there is an intelligence to it, there is a knowledge to it. So, in keeping with the gunas right now, while trying to grow into a sattvic being ready for this knowledge, I do whatever I need to do as a contribution, and with Ishwararpana buddhi, and I receive whatever needing the results of karma with what kind of buddhi? Prasada buddhi. Very, very good. Prasada buddhi. And this is how one grows. So therefore, chaturvarnyam maya srishtam. Gunakarma vibhagashaha. Yes, I had something to do with the jagat. I had something to do with these gunas. I had something to do with this so-called entrapment of the gunas. But at the same time, that is just a role in keeping with the people's karmas. Because ultimately what I am? Akartaram avyayam. And this knowledge of akartritvam, the knowledge I am akarta, cannot be taught until dharma has been mastered. Until dharma is mastered. Otherwise it will be the defense of every offender. Not guilty, Your Honor. By what? By what reason? You are not guilty. Not guilty because I am akarta, thanks to Shastra. Everybody will go scot-free. You can't do that. So therefore this akartritvam has to be slowly understood, and interestingly, the non-doership is understood only through right doing. Through right action, one understands one is not the actor at all. And so therefore, the right action is emphasized here in this in this section. And then also another thing is to understand that Bhagavan doesn't do anything out of Ragadvesha, and Bhagavan has as though created this universe with all these various kinds of divisions, and then but at the same time you cannot uphold Bhagavan as the one responsible for things, because ultimately what is Bhagavan's nature? Same as your nature, Sat Chit Ananda, Akarta Abhokta. That which is the source of all existence, that which is limitless existence, limitless knowledge, non-doer, non-experiencer, that is what is the truth. Very, very, very beautiful. And so, you can't hold Bhagavan, you can't say, oh, but you are Ishvara, but you are doing this thing. No, I am not doing anything. This much we saw. And then, the next verse is very beautiful. 14th verse. Before the 14th verse, a little segue. Yesham tu karmanam kartaram mam manyase paramarthatah tesham akarta eva aham yatah. 227 page, because there is a Panoli himself gives a big what's the word for it, commentary on the previous verse, page 227. Okay, bottom. Found it? Yeah. So, yesham tu karmanam kartaram mam manyase. All these actions for which you regard me as what? Doer. Then, paramarthatah, in reality, from the standpoint of the paramarthika satta, akarta eva aham. I am actually a non-doer. Yataha, aham yataha means yasmat karanat, because of this reason. What is the reason? Namam karmani limpanti. Name karma phale spruha. Iti mam yobhijanati. Karma bhissana badhyate. Nasa badhyate. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, next one. Evam jnatva kritam karma. Purvairapi mumukshubhihi. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Purvaif purvatarang kritam. Yeah. So, namam karmani limpanti. What is limpanti? To limp, right? Yeah. No. Lip, to get afflicted, get attached, to stick. Lepanam, anointment. So, lip means to stick. So, Arjuna, I am Teflon. You know Teflon? What is Teflon? Huh? Non-stick. Yeah, you make dosa, it comes out on its own. You don't have to go like this, like this, like this. Like whereas you use an iron skillet and make dosa, then after that you have repetitive stress injury. You have to keep on going like this to take it out. It will not come out. Here nothing sticks. Teflon. So, Bhagavan says, I am Teflon. I am not just the inventor of Teflon. I am not just the buddhi that invented Teflon. I am non-stick. You are what? Velcro. I am the opposite of that. Velcro, you know, frrr, that noise comes and it sticks. So you Arjuna are what? Velcro. You are stuck to your ragadveshas. You are stuck to everything. I am what? Teflon, Teflon, Bhagavan. See, it rhymes also. Yeah, I am Teflon, Bhagavan. Nothing sticks to me. I may do 100 things, but it doesn't stick. Why? Because I know I am not the doer. I also know I am not the doer, somebody can say. So I can, take somebody else's property and say, Aham akarta. Aham akarta. Have you seen my bag? No. I haven't. Did you take my bag? No. Why? Because I am akarta. I am not doing anything. This is not that kind of a denial. It's there can be two kinds of falsification. One through denial. This is not happening. One can say that. And one can be in denial. This is not denial kind of akartritvam. I didn't do it. A 2-year-old will also say, I am akarta. I didn't do this. Who made this mess? Mother will ask, not me. Father did it, younger brother did it, something like that. So therefore, that is one form of negation of kartritvam, and that is called denial. That is not keeping in touch with what is what. That is called denial. This is not denial. This is the falsification of the very identification with the doer that has happened as a result of knowledge. What knowledge? That I am Satchidananda, which is neither doer nor experiencer. Kartritva, bhoktritva, varjitaha. This Atma, this is free of doership, free of experiencership. It's knowledge, it's not denial. Okay? And so, namam karmani limpanti. So the karmas do not touch me at all. Why? The answer is given in the next pada. Name karma phale spriha. Spriha means attachment, desire. There is no desire for what? Karma phala. So therefore, even if I do, the karmas don't touch me because the connection between the karma and the karma phala has been cut by me. Inaugurating Vedanta study. You cut a ribbon and two people are holding the ribbon, or it's attached to two sides of the door. And then, so the celebrity is called, please cut the ribbon. Here what is it? One side karma, another side karma phala. You cut the ribbon, inaugurating the portal to your study. The doors of the heart open when this connection is cut. And we saw this in detail, how to do that in chapter 3, by minting oneself as karma yogi. Every karma phala should be the same. What do I want from karma? Self-growth. That's all I want. And so then I don't need karma phala. You grow out of karma phala, and then since the cord has been cut, then these two are not connected anymore. Karma is not connected to what? Karma phala. And so when I do karma, it does not bind in two senses. One is it may produce any phala, whatever it is, but the connection for me between the karma and the karma phala has been cut, and so therefore it doesn't matter what I do. This is on the relative level. On the level of the vyavaharika satta, on the empirical level, the connection, the cords have been cut internally through this knowledge. And then paramarthataha, in reality, at the level of the absolute, I know, I will know, as I am studying, I will slowly know I am free of doership. So on the first level, I may not know I am free of doership, but I am doing, but I have nothing to do with karma. So here is a beautiful formula for understanding oneself as non-separate from Bhagavan. Name karma phale spriha. And this is not a practice or an experience, Bhagavan says in the second line. It is something that you have to understand. Iti mam yaha abhijanati. Abhitah janati. The one who knows this very clearly. It's a cognitive understanding. It's not practicing. And it's not meditating. Okay, I and karma phala are not connected. Karma phala cut. Karma phala cut. उससे क्या होता है? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen out of that. This is a cognitive understanding. There is nothing to practice, there is nothing to meditate, there is awareness. The awareness is everything. The understanding is the pinnacle of this cutting the cord between karma and karma phala. And then after that, what happens? You too are Teflon. Yes, you too are Teflon. Nothing will stick to you. You will go in the right royal road of moksha, just letting all the obligations wash off, the dysfunctional connections wash off. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go here, I have to go there. Somebody will be mad, somebody is expecting it. Some of our karmas are based on that. Some pressure. Somebody will be mad is not about somebody. It is about me wanting to be validated, accepted, approved and loved. We have to see it for what it is. And then, with this knowledge, then I can easily tell myself through nididhyasana, the self is already validated, approvable, accepted and loved. So therefore, I don't have to engage in these actions because I fear I'm in trouble or because I want someone or something to approve of me. I don't have to do that. Then what do I become? Teflon. Teflon. And then you can also say, what can we say? Namam karmani limpanti. The karmas limp and go away as soon as they come. They don't come anywhere near me. Why? Because I have successfully cut the cord between action and the desirable results of action. And then itimam yo abhijanati karma bhihi sa na badhyate na lipyate. Na badhyate is not bound by karma. This bondage has to do with the emotional non-understanding or wrong understanding. So the buddhi is caught in a series of dysfunctional connections, obligations, which in turn dictate the kind of actions I will do or the kinds of actions I will not do. So instead, if I let go of this, then I let Ishvara dictate, then I let the buddhi calm down in the knowledge that it is okay, I am okay. In this knowledge, I do whatever comes spontaneously to me and whatever is going to aid my growth, then I too become like Teflon Bhagavan. Very beautiful. And then there are some similarities with chapter 3. We will bring them when it is relevant. Okay, in the next verse it will come. So, Bhashya. Namam tani karmani limpanti dehadi arambhakatvena ahankara abhavat. So dehadi arambhakatvena. So what kind of karmas? Dehadi arambhakatvena. The karmas itham bhute tritiya, the karmas that are in the form of. It is not because of, okay? Third case has many usages. This is one of the rare usages of the third case. The third case can mean due to, on account of, because of, through, etc. But here it means in the form of. It's called itham bhute tritiya. Exactly how it is. So, what is Bhagavan's actions? Dehadi arambhakatvam. The populating the universe with all the names and forms, including bodies. Deha, bodies. Upadhis. Deha here should be seen as upadhi, not just deha. Adipadat, mind, senses, body, mind, sense complex. Sthavara jangamadi of the characharatmakam jagat. Some things have life, some things, have Satchidananda in a latent form, like a rock. Rock is also Satchidananda, correct? You are also Satchidananda. What's the difference? Don't say no difference, okay? And if you are silent, that means there is no difference, okay? What's the difference? Yeah, Sukshma Sharira Abhava. So we have to take Dehadi as body, mind, sense complex or Sharira Traya. What is Shariratrayam? Sthula Sharira, then Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira. So Dehadi Arambhakatvena. So in the form of starting all these bodies, etc., breathing the universe with life, and then there are sentient things like upadhis, various plants, animals, and there are insentient things like the 5 elements, and so all that should accrue to me, the results of all that should accrue to me. Somebody is cursing, why did you put me in this body? I wanted to be a dog, why am I in a human body? Somebody is cursing, and all that karma phala should accrue to me, but it doesn't accrue. Why? Because ahankara abhavat. I think that's what he says, correct? Yeah, ahankara abhavat. Because there is no I-ness there. There is no me-ness there. There is no I-ness there. So even though I populate the whole universe with Nama-rupa, Nama-rupa, Nama-rupa in the form of Sharira-traya, 3 bodies, in the form of sentient and insentient things, it does not bind me. Nacha tesham karmanam phaleshu me spriha trishna. Very beautiful translation of spriha. Spriha, desire, changes to longing. Trishna, not Krishna. Okay, that's a different thing. Be careful here. So, trishna, there is no craving for the fruit of action. Further, yesham tu samsarinam, by contrast, for the samsaris, aham karta iti abhimanah. For the samsaris, what is their downfall? The abhimanah, not pride. In local languages, abhimana means pride, but here, or arrogance. But here it means identification. Identification. So, aham karta iti abhimanah. So this identification with the wrong notion, what? I am doer, iti identification, this kind of an identification, what happens to that identification? Karmasu spriha. So first there is an attachment for the action. I only can do this. I am the best, east or west. Shoo, you go away. Why should I go away? Why are you shoo? Why are you saying shoo? Because you are a mumukshu. That's why. Shoo, yeah, let me do this. I am the best. I am this person. One becomes entrenched in this. That's why the seva roster changes every 15 days. So, because I am the best server of the lunch, not you. Shoo, go away. I only have to do this. And then next time what? Temple cleaning. Oh. And meanwhile the temple cleaner is also thinking what? All these people did such a bad job. I came into the scene and I am the best, east or west. Look how it's shining. Floor is shining. Even the ceiling is shining. Thanks to me. And next time what are they doing? Serving lunch. What is there? This is so boring and there is nothing creative in this. I have to just slop, take it. And then everything is the same color, same kind of liquid, day after day. Everything is kind of light brown in among the dishes in the dining hall. What is this? That is why there is the changing. Because if there is no spriha for the karma, then only we can have no spriha for the karma phala. So the karma I learn to do, whatever needs to be done, I do. I mentioned in the last 3-month course, Pujya Swamiji was once interviewed by a 11-year-old girl. She wanted a school project. And she said, I'm going to follow you and find out what does the Swami do in a day. Okay. Day lasted only 2-3 hours. After that she said, okay, I have enough material because so much Swamiji was doing, she saw. And then she said, I have seen you do this, I have seen you do that. Swamiji, what's your favorite activity? And Swamiji responded very beautifully. It was a lesson for all of us grown-ups. And he said, he looked at her very kindly and said, my favorite activity is whatever I have to do in the moment. So that is Karma Yoga, therefore, is growing from a person who likes to do certain things to a person who does whatever is to be done. You can't do always as you like, therefore you learn to like whatever there is to do. Then there is a kind of a space between myself and the identification with the karma, which is the ingredient for kartrutvam. The ownership of the karma is not there. The ownership means the kind of a dysfunctional attachment is not there. And then karmasu spruha nasti tat phaleshu cha tan karmani limpanti iti tan karmani limpanti iti yuktam. So if this is a so karmasu spriha, this is how it is presented here. So for the people who have an identification with the action and attachment to what they are doing and how they are doing what they are doing, then definitely it will spill over to the karma phala. The iti yuktam, it is natural, it is proper for the action to bind. And what else will bind along with the action? Result of action will also be binding. Binding me. Binding me means this is as much as I am the doer. And then I am the doer, I am the guilty one because I didn't do something properly. Then tad abhavat namam karmani limpanti. For me, this is not there. What is not there? Many things are not there. I am asamsari, meaning I do. What is asamsari? Samsarinam. Then what is the opposite of samsari? Asamsari. What is the meaning of asamsari? The one who doesn't have dysfunctional obligations to other people. That is asamsari here in this context. This one will be mad, this one is expecting it, so I have to do this. Somebody will be upset, therefore I have to do this. This is all samsari thinking. This cannot be sustaining in the long run. It is exhausting actually. We are not exhausted because we do things. We are exhausted because of how we do things. Because with these kinds of things, of course it is exhausting. That's why Bhagavan is never exhausted. Always resting, yeah. So, resting on the original coiled mattress called Adishesha. So then, so the Bhagavan, so first reason why the karmas don't touch Bhagavan, asamsari. And then aham karta iti abhimanaha nasti. So the second thing is ahankara abhavat. There is no ahankara abhava. There is no ahankara. Third reason why the karmas don't touch is Bhagavan could care less about the connection with karma phala. Whereas the people are these three things. Samsaris, attached to karma, therefore bound by the karma phala. Iti evam yaha, so the contrast has been given and now the conclusion. Iti evam yaha anyaha api maam atmatvena abhijanati nahang karta na me karma phale spruha iti. Atmatvena. Atmatvena means intimately as oneself. Yaha janati, the one who knows me as what? As themselves. As not even the truth of themselves, as themselves. I am this Ishvara. I am Ishvara-esque. The one who knows, itimam yaha abhijanati, tasya api na dehadhi arambhakani karmani bhavanti ityarthaha. Very beautiful conclusion. Before that, saha karmabhi na badhyate. That we have already seen. So, one becomes like Bhagavan, and for such a person also, tasya api, for her or him, Na dehadhi arambhakani karmani. So there also what did we see? Dehadhi arambhakatvena ahankara abhavat. Earlier, just scroll up, you see that word. Itham bhute tritiya dehadi. So from the standpoint of Bhagavan, who is quote unquote as though creating bodies, names and forms, shariratraya, all these he is creating. From that standpoint, Bhagavan is not karta. And from this standpoint of owning a body and doing things to keep it going every morning, putting cream, going into shower, cleaning, feeding the body, also does not, those karmas don't touch me. Who is me? Jiva. Jiva. Does not touch the jiva. Same way, very beautiful verse. I mean, the Bhashya is so beautiful here. It's a Mahavakya, easily. So, if you also understand what I know, Arjuna, the karmas will not touch you. What do? I start all the bodies. What do? You start the day with your body. Both are the same. I start the universe with all the bodies. You start the day with your bodies, day after day. And then, so whatever you do to upkeep this body, it's really not action anymore. If you understand that you are free of karma and karma phala, just like I am. Why? The ahankara, the identification, the abhimana is not there. This is a cognitive shift. Okay. So then, the next one, na aham karta, na me karma phale spriha. So, I am not the doer and I am not interested with regard to the karma phala. Then, evam jnatva kritam karma. So, he wants to inspire Arjuna, because Arjuna may think, fine for you to say, you have just declared yourself as Bhagavan. I am what? Gabhavan. All right? I am not Bhagavan. How can I be Bhagavan? And you are comparing yourself to me. And you are saying, you also do this. How? You have made all these things. Even your own mother was afraid to look into your mouth when you were a baby, because when she looked, she said, please close. She saw all the galaxies, the whole creation coming out of your mouth. She said, okay. First she thought she was going to teach you some healthy habits and said, have you eaten dirt? Open your mouth. Obliged, open. No. On second thoughts, please close. Even your own mom was afraid of looking into your mouth, and then you think that I can be like you? Far cry. I can't be like you at all. You are Bhagavan. I am what? You are the cause. I am because of you. Yeah. You are all. I am what? Small. Finally, you are God. At best, I am odd. And then you are comparing yourself to me. And you are comparing me to you? How is this possible? And so he must have seen, Bhagavan must have seen the disbelief in Arjuna's eyes, because he is looking at him and teaching, no? So that is how the teachers learn, that is how we learn. When there is a blank expression, we know this has to be repeated or this has to be said differently. So Lord Krishna also must have seen not blank expression, because he was listening well, but an expression of utter disbelief. Like, come on, you must be kidding. This is not me, this is you. You're describing you. And out of maybe some kindness, you're saying, okay, you are also included. No, this is not me. And then, so he gives an example in the which verse is it? 15th verse. He gives an example that is a little closer to home for Arjuna, where Arjuna can catch hold of the role models and the example, because he gives the example of people gone by, great rishis, great kings, who are both what? Raja and Rishi, Rajarshayah. So great rishis, great kings, sometimes who in one body they doubled up as Rajarshis and Maharshis and all these people. What did they do? They did a lot of things. But they knew the truth of themselves, so even for them, the action did not bind. The karma phala did not bind. See, these are people who you look up to. And then this same thing, here we have to do some samanvaya. Go back to verses between 24, 25 verse in chapter 3, please. Somewhere there. Loka sangrahamevapi karma kartum arhasi, something like that. Look and tell. 20. Okay, read that. Siddhim asthita janakadayah loka sangrahamevapi samdasyan kartum arhasi. Same idea is here. Make that mark so that you can see the connection. You can see that even though Arjuna may have forgotten, Bhagavan has not forgotten. There is a consistency. This is called samanvaya, the total absence of internal contradictions, and then the total absence of external contradictions, where other things also cannot contradict what the Bhagavad Gita says, what in the Prasthanatraya is mentioned. This is what is the subject matter of the fourth Brahma Sutra, Tattu Samanvayat. So, why is Bhagavan, why is Brahman worth studying? Because it is completely uncontested in and through all the granthas, primary, secondary, everything. And so the same idea, Loka Sangraham Sampashyan Karma Kartum Arhasi. So they were all there. Asthitaha Janakadayah. Janaka is the only king there. We can, and then one more was, who is the other one? Ashwapati. Very good. So Janaka, Ashwapati, etc. We also found out a third one last time. I don't know which one. Do you have the name? Yeah, one more king we found out in some other bhashya, but anyhow, I'll dig into it deeper and then unearth them later. We'll do that. So these kinds of kings, they had the blessedness of having this knowledge of what? I am not karta, I am not the doer, iti knowledge they had, and at the same time they were able to do things without any karma phala affecting them. They were able to be in both realms. They were able to live in vyavaharika while at the same time having paramarthika jnanam as the truth of themselves. And so here you also do the same thing. Evam jnatva, knowing this in this manner. What is this evam? There is no connection between you, the karta, and karma phala, and there is no, and just like I don't have longing for karma or karma phala, you also, when you know me intimately, atmatvena, as yourself, you are also like that, knowing in this manner. Kritam karma. This karma was done. This kind of action was done by how? Purvaihi api. By the people who have gone by. Gone by means previous generations. They are no longer alive, but we have heard of them through itihasa. History books and itihasa, Puranas, all of them talk about these people. So, Purvaihi api. Who were they? Mumukshubhihi. They were all mumukshus. Then they became what? Jnanis. First they were mumukshus, and they also learned through this same knowledge, they also learned to cut the cord of karma, between karma and karma phala, inaugurate their study into Vedanta, assimilate the knowledge, and then declare themselves as what? Akarta, abhokta. They also did the same thing, but at the same time they didn't sit quietly. I am a jnani, so what? Bring me lunch. That's all. I'm not doing anything. I am akarta, I am abhokta. No. They also did that. They continue to do the work. I mean, why go so far? Look at our own Pujya Swamiji, how much he did, night and day, without any respite. So, evam jnatva kritam karma. Karma kritam. Kaihi purvaihi mumukshubhihi. Passive construction. So, the agent will be in the third case. So it's a, what is that, multiple agents. So purvaihi, many of them. So purvaihi, that's why it is plural. Plural agent, purvaihi, and mumukshubhihi qualifies the purvaihi. So all of them who were mumukshus, purvaihi kritam karma evam jnatva. And then tasmat, you also, kuru karma evatvam. You also follow their footsteps. So what I say is outlandish to you. You can't even connect to it. But you can definitely connect with your own ancestors. See, in the ancient, even now, in the Vedika system, in the Vedic life, the ancestors are everything. Ancestors means you don't do anything without getting their blessings. So you want Upanayana, ancestors are worshipped and then their blessings are sought. Marriage, ancestors are worshipped, their blessings is sought. Sannyasa also, you will see now. So they will give the final oblations before taking this. They will get their permission. They will say, from now on I am not going to propitiate the ancestors. You please absolve me, and I am doing something that you would have liked me to do really. And please bless me. And then the final oblations are given on the riverside. You will see all that. You can see from a distance. Don't go and bother them. Yeah? Don't be in their faces. From a distance you can observe. And so this, even before sannyasa, the ancestors are acknowledged, worshipped, and let go of. And so let go of ceremonially, ritualistically. So here, therefore, this should definitely make Arjuna stand up and take notice. Why? Because the same line of brilliant ancestors that has brought forth this body. You owe your body to them, and you owe your knowledge to them. You owe your very being to them, and look at how they did. Look at how they did. You just follow their footsteps. Same thing we see in the Kathopanishad. Anupashya tatha purve. Pratipashya tatha apare. And even Nachiketa tells his daddy, what does he say? Do you please look at your own ancestry of brilliant people. All of them kept their word. And you are going to break your word now and break that lineage of this wonderful adherence to dharma. And not on my watch, Nachiketa says. You are not going to do that. And so here, this also, to inspire Arjuna, it is said, Kuru karma tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. Purvataram means in the olden days, how it was done, you also do. Bhashya, not very difficult. Evam jnatva kritam karma purvaihi api. Who is this purvaihi api? Atikrantaihi, gone, belonging to a different generation. Mumukshubhihi, who were all seekers of this vidya. Kuru, tena karma evatvam kuru. You please do what they did. Na tushnim asanam na api sannyasah kartavyah. Adi Shankara gives two cautionary notes. Don't sit quiet. Don't sit quiet, Arjuna. Right now, what is Arjuna doing? Sitting quiet. Don't do that. Get up, fight. Look at your ancestors. They had no problem with fighting wars or whatever, ruling kingdoms or whatever they needed to do, they did. They were not crybabies. You were just sitting quiet, thinking. Sitting quiet is what? Not action. It's like the kitten coming into the kitchen. This happens in India a lot. Kitten comes to the kitchen window and then there is a milk is left open to cool. Just correct, warm, nice milk. Lap, 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 lap it does. But what does it do? It closes its eyes tightly and laps the milk, licks the milk, because it thinks, if I close my eyes, nobody is seeing me. This is a form of what? Denial. So don't be like that. Don't say, if I sit quietly, the war will go away. Nobody will see that I'm present, I'm absent. Nobody will see that I'm not present. And so the war will just go away. No problem. And so, please do not do that. Get with the program. And don't sit quietly, number one. And then also, don't try to, your mind is actively looking for a loophole. And the loophole in the Vedic tradition is what? Sannyasa. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That is not the sannyasa we will be witnessing on Shivaratri day. That is not it. That is not the kind of sannyasa. It is not to run away. It is not given for the person who wants to run away. And in fact, Pujya Swamiji had a formula. If anybody would say to Pujya Swamiji, Swamiji, when am I going to get sannyasa? He would say, without blinking an eyelid, when you stop wanting it, my dear, you will get it. That is the idea. Even the desire to give up has been given up, then only sannyasa will come. So you are not qualified for sannyasa. You are not qualified to just sit quietly. Just get up, see what the ancestors did, and you also go on that illustrious path. And then he says, Tasmatvam purvaihi api anushthitattvat yadi anatmagnyah Tvam tada atmashuddhyartham tattvavicchet lokasangrahartham purvaihi janakadibhihi purvataram kritam na adhunatanam kritam nirvartitam. Beautiful, very, very beautiful. So, tasmat, therefore, follow the footsteps of purvaihi api anushthitattvat. Follow the karma which has been done for the by the people of yore. What kind of karma they did? Loka sangraha karma. Loka sangraha doesn't mean gathering people. Loka sangraha, literally that's what it means, but loka sangraha is a technical term for the welfare of the people. Not just people, animals also. So, loka sangraha, for the welfare of everybody, the karma that is done is called loka sangraha. So do this for that loka sangraha sake, because they also did that. Then again Arjuna's question may be there. Maybe they were not jnanis and then they were doing this karma. They were just mumukshus. So if they were just mumukshus and not jnanis, why were they doing that karma? Atma shuddhyartham. In the next chapter this is going to be talked about in a verse. Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Beautiful verse. And so, here also, so there are two possibilities. The ancestors could be enlightened ancestors, or they could be ignorant ancestors, wannabe enlightened ancestors. In other words, they could be jnani ancestors, or they could be jnani wannabe ancestors. Still they did this karma for the welfare of the people. In the first instance, if they were jnani ancestors, directly they did everything to benefit the people without taking themselves to be karta. And then if they were jnanis who wanted to be, if they were mumukshus who wanted to be jnanis, how did they do the karma? For the sake of the taming of the ragadveshas, antahkarana shuddhyartham. Therefore, tvamapi karma kuru. Here it's a brilliant bhashya, here brilliant verse, and here Lord Krishna says, I am not going to comment on whether you are jnani or agyani. You decide. You do this karma. Sannyasa is not for you. And also, the Lord in very unceremonially said earlier, what? You have lot of ragadveshas, Arjuna. Bhashyakara said earlier. And so, then Janakadhi purvataram kritam. It was done in the past. Na adhunatanam. It was not done now. This is not of recent origin. This practice is there from a long time. Nirvartitam means accomplished. So this karma was accomplished by all the previous people, either for Atma Shuddhi, or Atma Shuddhi doesn't mean Atma cleaning. Atma Shuddhi means Antahkarana cleaning, the taming of the ragadveshas. So this is not of recent origin. More we'll see when. 11 you will practice. I have to teach at that camp. So you will practice at 11 what? Yeah, chanting. You will practice at 11 chanting. So more we'll see after the weekend.
How many days?
Yes.
1 hour we are practicing?
Yeah, half an hour you practice. Yeah. They will be very happy with you if they send them back to their rooms after half an hour. Yeah. So, half an hour you practice. After all, the weekend is coming. So, it should have a little bit of a different schedule. So, I have to teach at the other place. So, I'm going there at 11. And so, you can practice the chanting. So, then we will come back with verse 16, 17, 18. Very important verses are coming with 6-page bhashyas for verse number 18. So, you are duly alerted. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaga Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi